Hey, I'm Hailey.
And I'm Jessi.
And you're listening to
Personality Hire, the podcast where today is our 100th episode. We've done 100 of these bad boys.
Can you believe it?
From top to bottom, we've been doing this for a few years now. A couple, who knows? And we have done 100 unique New York episodes.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It is really crazy to think about doing that, 100 anything. And then that makes me think of how long... I don't know. You just really realize what time looks like. I think that's amazing.
One thing that I was thinking about it that I like thinking about it this way is you and I have sat down together as friends 100 times.
Yeah.
And there are some friendships where you're truly your friends. The amount of times you see them face to face don't discount the friendship, but we are so lucky. Like, we have sat down in person together face to face and spoken outside of our normal business friendship hours 100 times.
That's really insane.
That's cool.
Also, 100 times we've posted on the internet.
It's true.
Of just us yapping about anything. That part is the part where I'm like, whoa. Maybe I speak too many times.
No.
Maybe my teacher was right in second grade.
Talked too much in class.
Speak too many times.
Talks too much on internet.
But honestly, it's been fun and I love it. And now, we do make a little bit of coin from this. So roll tide.
Roll tide. And also thank you for your support. We say it at the end of every episode, but we're going to hit it at the top. Thank you for your support.
Seriously.
Thank you for keeping us around for 100 episodes. And today, we've crowdsourced some questions.
We have.
You guys sent in some questions from around the globe. I mean, they're coming from around the globe. These questions.
Not from Norway, which I was hoping. Norway. I'm still waiting.
I'm not going to give up on you.
I see you,
but I am,
and I want to hear you.
I'm going to cool off on the amount that I shout you out. I'm not going to give up.
Maybe I should like
play hard to get.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like whatever. But before we get started, can I tell you a story?
Please.
I had something happen to me this morning that I just need to get everybody's opinion on. So I was in a well-known coffee shop's drive-through, and I was getting something, a gift card for someone, and they said, "What denomination? What would you think?" I was like, "Presbyterian, huh?" And she giggled and she goes, No. What denomination?
Money.
And so then,
money dollars.
Yeah. I said Presbyterian and I giggled because I knew that wasn't right, but she said denomination. Also, that was the first time I've ever heard someone ask me when purchasing a gift card what my denomination was. I realized that she did not mean
your
church
religious affiliation.
Yeah.
She meant, do you want to put a 20 on here, a 10, a 5-er? Mm-hmm. She said, how much are we putting on here?
Right. So that has never happened to me. And she was a young woman, so I did feel like I was like, "What chapter did I miss?"
I was going to say,
did I just forget that chapter? Because that's possible too.
That feels like she's fresh out of the employee handbook. That feels like she.
You know what? You're so right.
That feels like she just read through the employee handbook. It's fresh, top of mind, and that she's using the correct verbiage.
And
there.
Girl, thank you, because she taught me something this morning. Because now when people, these nasty little nasties who flow into your inbox, the old men, and they're like, "Oh, beautiful Rose, how can I love you?" I can say, "What denomination?"
You can say, "What type of coin shall I be expecting?" And,
yes.
And in what denomination?
It better not be Doge coin.
Oh.
Ever.
That she could have just said... How much?
She could have, but I thought it was hilarious because we were also in a very busy line, and the fact that I said Presbyterian and I giggled because I know that wasn't right, and then she goes, "What denomination?" Again, my part was I was like, this line is long. It's been long. I've been waiting in it, and now I don't know what you're saying, and you're asking it again, which I thought was funny.
Did you say, "What do you mean?" Or did you just pick up on it then?
I go, "What denomination?" I did. I was a pageant girl. I just repeated the question back to myself slowly.
Yes.
Obviously, it wasn't clocking to me. Mm-hmm. But she was standing on business, serving tea, coffee, and all of it.
And denominations.
And vocabulary. And she figured out that I didn't know what she was saying.
And then did she say,
giggled a little bit too.
And then did she say how many dollars you want to put on here?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like that she doubled down though, because that
She
lets
did. She
me
taught
know,
me something.
Well, she was giving you the opportunity to be like, you know what this means. Like, I'm just going to say it again, you know?
Yeah, but I said Presbyterian, so no, I did not know what you meant.
Well, now you know.
I did not know what you meant.
The more you know.
You
Bing,
might.
bing, bing, bing.
Bing bong, bing bong. Anyway, happy 100 years of...
I give this episode 100 denomination.
Yes.
100 smackaroonies.
100. We have some questions that we've accepted from our new hires.
Our studio audience.
And I love y'all so much, and I'm really excited to hear what we have to say.
And also,
here.
for the record, I have not heard any of these questions.
Yeah.
Hailey compiled them and she put them together, and I have no idea what they say. So this will be fun for everyone.
I love it. Okay, I want to do the first one that I have off the top of my head. It's not on this list. What is a conspiracy theory that we believe in?
Okay, listen. One of my near and dears put this in here, and it caught me off guard because I wanted to think of one that was fun and exciting and new.
Yeah.
But Matt Bacon recently told me about one that I've been thinking about a lot, and I was like, this is interesting. Apparently, Disney created the film Frozen in order to knock out of Google's top searches that Walt Disney is frozen, because he is in fact frozen in space and time, and that his body was never ashes to ashes, dust to dust, if you will. He was crypto frozen. So hopefully in due time, he will come back from his frozen death and have his reign once more as Walt Disney. So that I find to be interesting, because they didn't want people to be digging around too much about how he was frozen or when he's coming back from his frozenness.
Wow.
And so they created a movie called Frozen.
I have so many questions about that. And not that I don't. At this year in 2026, you can tell me anything. I could be like, well, maybe. But I wonder, that was a lot of work to go into just to cover up a Google search, which people are still going to go down anyway.
I don't know. I just think that maybe the conspiracy theory behind it is that people were, maybe even outside of like Google, but they're just digging around. They're snooping around too much, because, people be crazy about Disney.
But would they stop though? Because if you have that kind of brain and you are hooked on something, wouldn't you just keep going on that one thing? You'd be like, I gotta figure this out.
Probably, but I also have another one that's more recent, is that Jim Carrey is no longer with us.
Okay, I don't like
that Jim Carrey has been replaced.
I don't like when people say that though, because I think that's creepy.
Jimmy Carrey. Because he recently came out of kind of like a hiatus of public appearances, and when he came back out, when he arose.
Well, they also said it was some makeup artist that does this, like dress up and does prosthetics on their face goes to events.
He looks like, to me, I'm not really buying this one. He looks like to me that he just got a lot of plastic surgery. Yeah. The one thing I will say that's a little bit creepy, again, could have been plastic surgery. His eyes do appear to be a lighter shade of green than they have been in the past, but I don't think that he's a different person.
No,
I think that he looks to me two things. Hot take: well medicated and tightly pulled.
Yes,
that's my thing there.
He looks like as if he is in the industry that he's in, and he is the age that he is, if that makes sense. But my conspiracy theory that I have started to believe, or no, I'm backtracking. I didn't want to say it. I don't want to say it anymore. Nope. This is the internet. It's forever. I knew this. I'm not saying it. But a fun one is that pandas aren't real. I don't believe that though. Last time we discussed this and another animal not being real, our episode in our YouTube got banned. Okay. So let's skip right over that one. Yes. But I do think that is wild and crazy. I don't believe that's true though, personally. Okay. Platform Crocs, how do we feel about them? I personally do not like platform Crocs, but the variations of them, I think are cool. I think anything that's comfortable is exciting. And I have friends who wear platform Crocs and it works for them. And so I think it's
one of them is sitting on this couch.
Right.
I have platform Crocs, love them, know them, think they're comfortable, feel cool in them. And my platform Crocs are also, they do double duty because they're for hiking, if you can believe it. I bought them. They were extremely high platform. And when I looked and I said, these are very cool. They said, these are specifically designed for people that want to go hiking.
Also, you can put them in the dishwasher. Did you guys know that?
Can you? That makes me feel
it's
some
disgusting,
type of way.
But you can put them in the dishwasher. That's how they used to advertise them back when Crocs like first came out.
It won't mess them up and make them molded into a different way.
Nope.
Oh, wow. Didn't know
also, by the way, I think you have to put them in the top, like, you know. Also, by the way, I do also have a pair of platform Crocs. So I was going to say that I think that I don't like them with jeans or whatever. You know, I don't think they're that tight for me. And I'm also speaking on me. But you know what? Girls going to work out, you want to slip your shoes on, your socks, your Pilates. I think they're so useful for that. I also have so many clogs that I wear during the winter that are so ugly. I look like I have donkey hooves, but I don't care. Because I can just slip them on and my toesies are warm and I can just walk into.
I think for a sporty look, a platform Croc can really set it off.
I think they're cool in that regard.
And final thought, I like that you can express your personality with the gibbets.
I will not be purchasing gibbets, but I like to look at people's gibbets.
I've got jibs and I like them.
Okay. Asking about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Okay, Jessi does not watch. I do,
but I have a peripheral bird's eye view on a certain woman that I think was on it right now that I know she's been in some headlines. So I don't know if this is
Taylor Frankie Paul.
Yes.
Yeah. So there have been headlines.
But wait, what's the question again? I'm so sorry.
What's our of this season? What's
just
our
thoughts of the season?
Yeah, thoughts on our seasons.
Okay.
I finished it in 2 days. Because I love this show. All I'm going to say is down with dag talk. We don't need it. No one asked for it. We don't want it. And also, let's just take one break after this season. Let's take a break. Let's regroup. Let's let people use their hard-earned money and take a break and take care of themselves. And that's what I'm going to say after this season.
I just know that Taylor Frankie Paul has been in some headlines about some possible, like a domestic dispute. I didn't read more into it than that, other than I did see, I'm going to sidebar this. I did see that Real Housewives of Atlanta is coming back next month, and that's where you can catch me.
Okay, well.
And then we can circle back on that.
Nene, girl. Honestly, any of the Atlanta Housewives, we're getting them on. That's going to be this year. One of the Atlanta Housewives will be in the personality hire.
I'm also looking at you, Kim Zolciak.
Kim, oh
girl.
My gosh, come over here, wig. I love you.
A white refrigerator.
A white refrigerator.
That's Nene. But still.
No.
Come over here, wig.
Do you believe in color analysis? And if so, do you follow it for everything? Hair, clothes, makeup, all that stuff. I have not a hot take about this. Actually, I think this is a very mild take. But I will say, working with people in styling, people get really, really glued to it. And I understand that it's a guide. I think it should be used for a guide. But I really don't think you should go shopping and not get something that you love because it's not exactly in your color family. And also, I watch these TikTokers that they watch or they go through red carpet looks and then they say, well, here's if I styled this person, or this is what I would have done, and to make them look better, whatever.
Their opinion on it.
Yeah, and they change. And I love watching those videos because you do get another perspective. And they basically do the same thing, just a little bit different. And I love seeing that nuance. Anyway, this guy always puts you in your color palette. Like, that's his videos. He always changes the designer's look into whatever color palette he thinks they should be wearing. In so many instances that I saw, I was like, but that would have taken the magic away from this look if you would have changed the color in this way. And I just think we let it get us trapped. so often, especially now when people, they go do that and then they're like, now I know exactly what belongs in my closet. And it's like, it doesn't have to be like that.
I have two thoughts on that. Number one, I think
it's a guide.
To talk about what you're saying, though, I do think what you're saying is true. It can be a guide. It doesn't have to be Bible. But I also think if you're struggling with your personal style, and this is just me coming from years and years of retail, which I truly learned so much about color and color theory when it comes to your skin tone, honestly, your hair color, your eye color, your skin tone, that if you struggle with your personal style or you struggle with knowing like what to wear right now, this season of your life, those colors can make shopping so much more manageable, and they can help your self-esteem. So I think that there's a time and place for that.
Absolutely.
But the other thing that I fully subscribe to 112% is everybody has one specific color or one variation of a color that is their sparkle color. You do, no matter who you are, you have a color that is out there in the rainbow that when you put it on, it is unique to you and you look incredible. And so I think that is an exciting thing to try to find somebody's sparkle color, where you're like, for instance, there were some women that I would like, I remember vividly helping women that could pull off lime green, orange, or this vibrant yellow colors. Those three colors, when I found a woman that could wear those colors as they're like, oh my God, like those are so special, because not everybody can wear those colors in the same way that they can.
Yeah.
So I fully subscribe to that. And I think that that's fun. Find your sparkle color. You can just know what it is. You don't have to adhere to it to where it's your entire wardrobe, but just find it and know what it is.
Also,
it's powerful.
Yeah. I mean, definitely color analysis. You can do that for yourself, or you can get it done. Also, KB body types is a very helpful tool for people who are trying to find their personal style. You kind of are able to see, okay, here's a color scheme that I can go with, or color season I can go for, and then here's, shapes I can go for.
The shape of your body. KB body types are the shape of your body, so you understand what shapes of clothes
look best on you, might most flatter you.
Yeah.
But again, don't let it box you in, because
express yourself.
I feel like you'll miss out on a lot. Now for makeup and all of that, I would say I pretty much always go with like what I'm supposed to be wearing. I'm not going out of the family. But, then if I want to wear blue eyeliner one day, I might just do it. So
yeah, I think that too, especially with what you and I are doing here, like every week, getting in front of camera, things like that, I do say, this works. I know what I look like with this makeup. I wish that I could if I could have anyone right now do my makeup, I would love to have Nina Park. I would love to have Katie Jane Hughes. I would love to have, I'd have Patrick Taw do my makeup. And Kellyanne, and then also Charlotte Tilbury. She does truly like 90s bombshell makeup.
Yeah.
And I think that's,
I love her old, like it's just Hollywood glam. I see that's never going to be old for me. Like I love it. Yes.
It's hot.
It's so good. I really love that. Okay. Pilates memberships. Let's discuss it. So much money. Like Pilates
discuss
specifically.
Discuss just like.
Yeah. How much they're outrageous.
How much they cost?
Yeah. They're outrageous. It's like, hey, you can come here 4 times a month or 4 times a week for $500 a month. I don't know. It is crazy, but guys, I'm going to tell you something. And I've said this. It's the thing that's been getting me through lately. So I take my money dollars. This feels, I feel like a new person. We go to the same Pilates studio. Jessi put me on this Pilates studio. It's Legree. We've talked about that.
Mega former.
Yes, we absolutely love it. They're doing this challenge the last, what was it? 14 days? So you can get, basically, I think it's, if you go to, it's up to 8 classes, right? Yeah, it's 8 classes in 14 days. And right. I think that's right. And if you go to 6, basically it's the cost of 4 classes, I think. So if you're going to 5 or 6, you're already making your monies back on this package. I'm not sure what it was, but I've been going every class because I was like, what if I can make it? And I'm going to make it. I'm going to make the 8 classes.
You're going to get the t-shirts.
Well, I'm not really worried about the t-shirt, but I was just can I make this package worth it? and it was worth it.
I am fully motivated by merch from places. So if they tell me I can go, like, that is a yes for me. I know not everybody is, but I am. But also, I am a spoiled brat, and I'm going to take the spoiled brat perspective and the out of touch perspective, which is I will pay premium top dollar money dollars to work out where I want to work out, in the environment I want to work out, and the modality that I want to work out. I truly feel like it has saved working out, and I'm not, this is truly, again, spoiled brat take, but it's my truth. Working out has saved my life in multiple instances in my life. Working out has saved me mentally, spiritually, and downright physically. It has saved me. So I will shell out the dollars. I've always been that way. Ever since college, I can vividly remember shelling out dollars to go to Flywheel. Do you guys remember Flywheel?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I shelled out,
I bet that was
per
expensive.
class, $24 to go to Flywheel.
And when was that?
In college in 2009.
That's expensive for back
2008,
then.
2009. And me being like, I don't need to eat this meal because I know my mental health is going to feel so much better, and I'm going to go to Flywheel. And I'm not promoting ED. I'm just telling you, when you're in college, though, you are on a strict budget and you have to make choices.
Yeah.
And I was well fed. Don't worry about me. But I'm just saying that I truly have stood by. It's not only about, it is about the modality too, but sometimes you have to know that you're paying for the experience, and you're paying for the setting and the vibes.
Also,
and the vibes are important to me.
Are important.
They are.
And also the mindset that I go from, like, I'm not going to miss my class because this class is me splurging. So I'm not missing it. If I'm signing up, I am going, and I'm going to be there on time, because I will be so mad if I start out the beginning of that class in the wrong headspace, because I want to be taking every cent from that 50 minutes, and I want to get that personal training, because truly the place we go, it feels like personal training sometimes. It's amazing. So
I also feel like
I'm spending the money on it.
When I pay for expensive fitness classes, sometimes during my day or during my week, it is the only time that I have true focus.
Yeah.
Like, we've discussed this a couple more times, and if I feel up to it one day, maybe Hailey and I can do a full ADHD episode when I'm feeling ready to rock with that aspect of my life. But that has helped me throughout my life. It is the only time that my brain feels calm and downright empty at times.
Wow.
I cannot get that feeling in any other area of my life. And so I will also pay top dollar to feel like the breeze between my ears.
Yeah. You're so
Seriously.
right. I mean, on Monday we met up at a Pilates class, and we walked in, and Jessi looked at me and she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Ee," with like tears. You know, we're going through a lot. But truly, I think 15 minutes into that class, I was feeling back to regulated. LOL.
So I think the consensus is this shit is too damn expensive.
Yeah.
But am I going to keep paying it? Unfortunately.
Yeah, we're going to go. We're going to go. Can we go? Okay, this one I thought was good. Can we all stop being modest, conservative grannies with our bathing suits? They give diaper. Jessi and I love this topic because we are both in the family. We don't want to wear diapers. I also don't want to be double cheeked out on a Tuesday in front of all of my neighbors. You know what I'm saying? And when you're walking, it's just like... That was my butt eating swimsuit bottoms.
I got it. I knew where you're going. I knew what you're doing.
You guys,
you said nom 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 nom.
I'm wearing a thong out here. I want to feel, man, I want to feel like a woman.
Yeah.
I want to do all the things. I want to empower myself. I also do not want to be exposed like I'm on a Spanish nude beach.
Hailey texted me about this a little bit ago, like a week or so ago, actually.
On Sunday.
About this.
I remember what day.
And it got me thinking about it because I just went on a vacation with a bunch of families and children. And while I was mindful of what I had on, I was thinking back about my bathing suits, and a lot of them were probably more exposing than somebody else might wear. But my body type, my kibby body type is straight up and down. So things that I wear don't look as revealing as if someone else who maybe was a little bit more blessed were to wear them.
Very true.
I also don't have any issues really with my donkey showing. My booty cheeks, like that's not the thing. The thing that I'm finding with swimsuits is that my undercarriage is hanging out. Where is the fabric for your direct undercarriage?
Well, it's as if that's the same width as where your
donkey
buttocks is. Yeah. So I'm just confused. It's like a fruit roll up.
I just think that maybe it, and I'm not being disparaging to myself. It really got me thinking that maybe other women,
all women feel that
have more slender, crotch regions.
You know, I have a friend who always said this.
They're more tighten in, and maybe since I've had a kid, things are different down there, and that could also be true.
Well, I'm sure that is true. I also fear that a lot of women who don't, I've heard that being said before, that same sentiment of maybe I have a large undercarriage. I truly think
wide undercarriage.
A wide undercarriage. But what I'm thinking is that they are making the measurements of most of these swimsuits on very slender little preteen. I have no idea.
That's right. No, the fit models
and then they just go copy paste every year. We never have to change the formula because these snitches still buying this.
But I will say there are certain brands though that I have found that are like really good. I didn't wear them this last vacation. I truly said two cheeks to the wind. But there's
literally
like Somersault is a brand.
Somersault, okay, I've heard
got a nice for your undercarriage. And I know there are certain brands that are not doing the copy paste thing, but there are certain brands that are. And I do think too that women that we have these fit models for these bathing suits, their undercarriages are not quite as wide in any capacity from the front or the back. And so I will say though, I agree that we're not dead yet. Let's have a little fun in how we look.
No, I agree. I don't want to be in a diaper. If it's diaper or thong, I'm going thong. I just would prefer if there was a middleman, literally in between my cheeks. Okay. Spring cleaning. Do we purge? I just gave away tons of stuff, threw away old makeup. Oh my gosh. You guys, that's such a good idea to spring clean your products. I don't do that.
Literally did that yesterday and this morning. I threw away tons and tons of makeup that were used and or expired, and then I went through my medicine cabinet. Here's a reminder. Spring clean your medicine cabinet. I had a bottle of medicine in there that expired in 2021.
Oh no.
And we're not I don't take a lot of medicine. I'd rather suffer in silence. Thanks very much. So I wasn't worried that I had taken it, but the fact that it was in there, just maybe spring cleaning your medicine cabinet, give it a whirl. See how that makes you feel.
Yeah. Maybe also your cabinets. A lot of your, perishables have now perished. So
they gone.
So, do that. Okay. Thoughts on these? I'm going to combine two of these questions because they're similar. Thoughts on mahjong and the mahjong obsession, parties, playing it in the pool, etc. And then someone also said, can we discuss hobbies as adults? And I love that. Yeah. I love that. What I love about mahjong is that people are getting together and creating a third space, having community. Am I going to play public math games? No, I'm not. So I'm never going to do public math. So mahjong, for that reason, is out. I know that there are numbers involved, and that's all I need to know.
Okay, but just so you know, I was also under the I was also speculating that you had to do like mental math when you play mahjong. You don't. It's basically like a deck of cards in the sense of like where that number is just indicating the certain tile. You don't have to like add anything up.
Okay.
And it also just shows you. So mahjong is a series of patterns. So you have every year a new mahjong card comes out and it has a new series of patterns where you have to use certain tiles to create a pattern.
Okay.
There are different suits of tiles the same way there are suits of cards. Okay. And the only reason why I know this is because at my kids' school, a lot of the moms, they play mahjong at the beginning of the year. They were so kind and they taught a lot of the moms who didn't know how to play. Now, it stressed me the out. Not because of the math, but because I just felt like it's something that, I wasn't good at it yet. So that's just my hello, that's me. I'm not good at it yet. I don't want to play it. So second to that, I also felt like it is a game of strategy. It is. If you play with certain people who are not as obsessed with the strategy as you are, like maybe you're not as strategic about it, you're just there for the fun and the vibes, it can be fun. But there are certain people that take it seriously and they have a lot of strategy and mentalities that go to it that they apply. I'm not that way.
Yeah, I don't like a game night personally.
But I agree with you.
I like the community building though.
I really like the community building. I like that there are cute little accessories that go with it.
Yes, I love the glam aspect of it. I love the idea of playing it in a pool, but I don't want to do that. I want to play mermaids.
I like that we are taking time, especially women, for themselves in the evenings, weekends, whatever, and they're saying, you went golfing for 8 hours, I'm going to go play mahjong. Or maybe they're like, I don't play tennis, I don't golf, I don't do these other things, but I can play mahjong. I love that. And I think it's fun and it's cutesy.
Yeah.
And I have been invited to play. I haven't been back, but that doesn't mean I won't in the future. The summer?
Yeah.
Anything could happen this summer.
Anything could happen. Summer possibilities. Yeah, I'm probably not going to play, but I think it's like this year's pickleball. Like there's always going to be like this new thing. And you know what? Good. We need joy. We need hobbies.
And we need hobbies with other people too. I think that's important.
Yes. Yes.
The other part of that question was the hobby aspect was just like adult hobbies.
Yeah.
I feel like, again, we talked about this, but working out is a hobby, and don't sell yourself short. If you're like, I work out consistently, that is actually a hobby. And
it's also a hobby too. Sorry, I just had a seizure. Everything's okay. It was just, I'm so excited. 100 episodes. Wow. But also, if it's definitely a hobby, working out is one. If you want it to be a alone time thing, then that's fine. But if you like get to know your instructors and you know people who go to your 12 o'clock or whatever time that your 5 p.m. class, what a magical thing to have people at a studio that you have no other reason to know this person.
I also think there's a lot of stress on adults to have hobbies as a way to unwind, because we're so inundated with social media and shit right now, and that we're constantly talking about our health and wellness and our mental well-being. So I feel like there's a lot of pressure to have these extracurricular activities that are exciting and unique. But I want to take the pressure off of it and say, if you work out, if you read, if you have a show or a movie that you like to watch, those are hobbies.
I think so too.
If you go to the theater, if you go to sporting events, those are actually hobbies. Yeah. So let's just backtrack. You don't have to start crocheting. You don't have to go to your local sip and wine place. You can, but you don't have to. So like your hobbies are just things that you use to inform your sense of self, and B, like get you out of the mindset of the hustle and the grind of what we're going through day to day. So if you don't have something that's exciting and new, and being like, if you're like, I just play Sudoku, that's your hobby, baby.
Girl, I get on eBay and I search up random stuff. My eBay is my hobby.
Well, you're also inquisitive and curious like I am, which is I bet you're this way. If you see something on TV or a video or whatever, and you don't know what it means, or it sparks a question, you have to look it up right then and there. Yeah.
I will pause a movie and I'm like, what did that mean?
What they banning?
I learned last night. I watched the movie. Justin's in this big thing. Oops, sorry. J-Dog is in this thing where he wants to watch all of the movies that were Oscar nominated, and we are starting with the 90s. So all in the 90s. Last night we watched Primal Fear. It was really good. Richard Gere. Holy smokes.
Wait, he's trying to watch every Oscar nominated movie in history?
Yeah, that's his goal.
Wow.
So
that's cool.
We've been working on the 90s. We've hit a lot up. We've done a lot. Primal Fear is the one we watched the last 2 nights. It took us 2 nights.
Does he have Richard like a big scorecard? But he needs like a... I think he has a journal. I think he has a little list. But is he writing what he thinks about each of them? Good. Oh, he needs to.
He really should.
Just a few sentences about his thoughts.
He really should. He would eat with that. He needs to do that. But Richard Gere is just so stunning. And I go look at Richard Gere in the 90s. That man, I know we're talking about JFK Jr. a lot. This man... just
similar font,
so handsome, and such a good actor. I've only seen him in things that like are a little cheesier, not these, more
dramatic roles.
Unique films,
We've seen him-
original screenplays.
Pretty Woman, like,
Yes,
you're like, there's different things to him. There's different sides to Richard.
There are. And anyway, I learned the vocab word malingering, which is when you're basically doing something to,
Procrastinate?
to lie. Like it's like to plead insanity, but you're not actually insane.
You're malingering.
And so I learned that last night. Laura Lenny taught me that. She was the
Malingering
actress
and denomination.
Yep.
Girl.
I learned 2 words. Wow.
Expand your mind, baby.
Personality
You know what her hobby is?
fire.
Her hobby is vocabulary words.
Yes. Now look at me, Mom. She is.
Always.
Okay. Is a hot dog a sandwich? I actually love that question. I think so. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it is. It's a hot dog.
But just because you have meat in between pieces of bread does not make it a sandwich. Like, a hot dog is its own entity. A cheeseburger is a sandwich. A hot dog is its own thing.
Okay, what about brats? So
Its own
that's not
thing.
a hot dog.
That's a
It's
hot
just
dog
a brat.
category.
Okay.
Like hot dog, brats,
So is that
sausages.
in the hot dog family?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
it's in the sausage family, I guess.
That's its own category to
Okay.
me. That's not a Sammy.
That makes sense.
That's just my opinion.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna leave that one for our last one because that one's okay. What has been our favorite topic to talk about and that we could talk about more? I think anytime we talk about being a personality hire, we could talk about it all day, and also makeup and fashion stuff. You're not going to get us to shut up.
Yeah. I think I like when we get going on like our personal development. That's a broad thing, but I like talking about that because that's when I hear from you guys that you relate most to those topics, and that's what we get comments on and things like that.
Yeah.
So I like talking about it in a humorous lens, though. Like, I like the fact that you and I discuss where we're at in our lives, where we're hoping to go, or challenges we're going through, but we try to keep that sort of humorous lens on it where we can. And that's my favorite thing to talk about. Maybe that's because I'm self-absorbed, but also I think it's just because it's real. And sometimes it can be challenging on this podcast, and to be real, not because it's challenging to be myself, but because you have to be so dialed into what is shareable and not in terms of, like, for instance, like, I've got a daughter and a husband, and I need to really be dialed in on what they would be comfortable with me sharing, and things that I want people to know me by and remember me by, because this is a public forum. So whenever I feel comfortable enough in those episodes where we're talking about like those personal growth things, I feel really good after, because I'm like, that was cool, and I felt like somebody got to know me better, and that maybe through getting to know me better, they were getting to know themselves better too. And that may be giving us too much credit about what we talk about, but they're my favorite episodes.
You're absolutely right. I didn't even think about it like that. But even when I am a consumer of podcasts, not just ours, but other podcasts, those are my favorite episodes to consume. So you're
because
totally
they get you
right.
thinking.
Yeah. And we had another question of how do we curate episodes? And I think that depends. It depends what it is. We talk about it before. If we have 2 things we want to speak on, we just make sure we can talk about them, and that we kind of give each other talking points for how we're going to do that. But we just kind of
I think the big thing that Hailey and I since the beginning have really wanted for this podcast is that there's very little curation in the sense of being scripted, for lack of a better way to saying it. So she and I come into this without having spoken about the topics to one another, because we want the conversation to be real and in real time. And we want it to be kind of like you're getting a sneak peek on the way that our friendship works and the way that we speak to one another. And it's very authentic in that way. And I like that a lot about the way that we do our episodes, because like Hailey's saying, we do have topics and things that we want to hit. And she and I go away this whole week. Of course, we have side conversations that are just related to our personal friendship, but we go away, we think about things we want to talk about. When we come together, you are hearing it for the first time that I hear it, or Hailey hears it in the exact way that we're hearing it. And I feel like that's that's what makes good podcasting to me. Of course, I love interviews. I love when we've had the opportunity to do those. That's cool. And they're a little bit more prepared. But I think most podcasts that I listen to, that I enjoy listening to, do it in the same way that you and I do it, in terms of like the preparation or lack of behind it.
Yeah. And Jessi and I talk a lot through the week, but you're so right. When we walk in, I'll be like, oh, I have something that I'm going to say, but I don't tell her what it is. And what's nice about that too, is sometimes I get a perspective, especially when we're talking about personal development as well, is that you're real time hearing a bestie FaceTime, because we're reacting to what one another has brought to the table truly in the moment. And that is honestly so crazy to think about too, because I'm like, wow, like that's kind of,
it's vulnerable.
Yeah, it's very scary.
Well, I
actually,
think when we first began 100 episodes ago, I'm proud of my personal development in the arena of being more forthcoming and being more vulnerable on this podcast, because in the beginning, that was a foreign concept to me, of someone having access to me or getting to hear my thoughts and feelings without really knowing me, and knowing that they could judge it, or knowing that they might make assumptions about who I am based on that one clip or that one episode. And I've had to really flex and work out a muscle of sharing things and knowing that it's not the end of the world if I overshare, or if I say an opinion that not everyone agrees with. And that was something that I had to learn. And I feel like if you see over time, from podcast 1 to podcast 100, you and I feel like have really leaned more into the vulnerability of the FaceTiming and like it being real in that way. And I had to learn that, because that's not my nature. My nature is to be honestly pretty closed off with my personal stuff. And I really feel like I've done a lot of growing in that area for sure.
You definitely have. I feel like I don't think I thought about it as much as I wasn't thinking about being vulnerable.
Perceived.
Yeah, being perceived. But this has been such a nice opportunity to be able to do the things that we want to do, which is show up and entertain, but also bring a part of myself that I don't think I could bring to the table for my career or for anything if I thought about it too much. I think that's what's magical about this, is we're just showing up.
You don't overthink the way that I do. You know, you don't overthink in a negative way the way that I do. You really are
it's afterwards that I'm like, oh, what did I just say?
Well, you trust yourself in the moment. You trust yourself in the moment. I think that I had to learn that trust of like, no matter what I say, I didn't necessarily trust myself to say it the right way, or to say it in an articulate way that could get my point across. I still struggle with that, which that's just lifelong thing, right? Everybody has a lifelong thing, but you don't do that necessarily. So you started off pretty open, I feel like.
Well, I also believe too that there's so much power in showing up, and in a world where we're inundated with a lot of curated moments of slices of life where people want you to believe that it's, marble countertops and the best products, the newest thing, the newest lip liner, whatever. We're constantly seeing all of that all the time. I think if we have an opportunity to show up and still be the people we want to be, but also be very much the person we are in the moment. I also think that you have to trust, and this comes with just any kind of work, but I think you're such a good person, and I think there are a lot of good people who are afraid of saying something incorrect and not understanding that we're all looking at each other, hopefully, for the most part, that we're all humans, we all make mistakes, but showing up authentically and messing up, and then also apologizing, but also being able to say, yeah, I messed up. All of that is good, but it is hard not to think about when you're coming with the mic and again posting it on the internet.
When you have like a one-on-one relationship with someone that's outside of like a public forum, it's so much easier to be like, you didn't mean that, or like, I know the way you intended it to be, whatever. But I think specific to this podcast, in the beginning I was like, there's gonna be comments about who, what, when, where, what I said that, and then can I handle that? Like, can I handle the public criticism? And turns out I can, for the most part, until we go viral again, and who knows. But yeah, that's a good question.
I like that question. Another thing was, what was our, because I'm trying to go to these, what would be our walkout song for the personality hire?
We answered this a long time ago.
I'm in love with you.
And I said, is that what yours would be? I said Prince.
That one.
But maybe mine's changed.
If, like, honestly, every night it could change, that would be good. Because sometimes I'd be a midnight sun. Sometimes I'd be like, I think it's so easy to fall. Like Olivia Dean. I'm sorry for my voice for that.
Mine would be something a little bit more like, I'm thinking something that I could be like, come out of the gate just absolutely busting a move. And right now my walkout song, and I might have said this before too, I don't remember, it was definitely Prince at one point, and it could be again, but today, where I'm sitting today, my walkout song would be Jamiroquai.
Ooh,
Canned Heat.
Okay.
Or Jamiroquai, Virtual Insanity. Either one of those, because I've been listening to Jamiroquai lately. They are a great band. The singer of Jamiroquai is Hot to Trot. And those are so good. I mean, you might also know Jamiroquai from Napoleon Dynamite. He did the Canned Heat dance. Anyway, that's where I'm at today. Jamiroquai.
Yeah, I think it would just rotate, but you know, you'll always find your way back home. Hannah Montana. That's a song that makes me want to run through a brick wall. Thunderstruck. So there's a lot of
Thunderstruck's good
really good ones. What would be our absolute dream guest for the podcast? I mean, Amy Poehler.
I was literally about to say Amy Poehler.
Amy Poehler.
I think I would choose a woman that I think that you and I both mutually admire. Like, there's so many women that
I would love to talk to Kelly Clarkson, honestly. I think she's so interesting. I've been doing deep dives on her, and I just think she's such an interesting person.
I'd love to talk to Sarah Blakely.
Sarah Blakely.
I'd love to chat with her. I'd like to talk anyone that is a female founder, female led company inventor, anyone who is a woman doing it big time on her own, and that also actively shares advice with other young women. That is my cup of tea for an interview. That would be
Shonda Rhimes.
I just would love to I would love to talk to an inspiring woman who wants to inspire other women.
Yeah.
Because that's where it's meaty, it's juicy there. That's like where the good stuff lies.
I also think that Amy Poehler would just be so good because she truly is a personality hire. We would just be drooling the whole time.
And she's created such an incredible production company, and she's cool. And she's kind, and she's so cute.
She's beautiful, and she's kind, and I would trust her with everything. If she was like, if I was running off a plane and I had a baby, and I don't know why I have a baby, and I looked on either side and I was running through first class because, I'm getting out of the plane. Yeah. All of a sudden it's Amy Poehler or it's a nurse. I would hand the baby to Amy Poehler and I would keep running. Sorry, Amy. That's a huge responsibility.
She'd be fine with it though. But she could do it.
You are a nurse. I would choose you. And I'm imagining the nurse with the nurse hat, like from Nurse Ratched with the like little plus sign on the nurse hat. That's I'm seeing a nurse from the 1960s over here, and then Amy Poehler. Amy Poehler is like this. She has a ball cap on. She has her blue light glasses on, and she's not trying to not be noticed. I'm still handing her the baby. I'm sorry, Amy. I just trust you.
No, that's something to apologize for. She would accept that responsibility.
I think she would too.
Yeah. Was that our last question?
We had some repeats, so
okay, that was a good one.
I want to ask you, Jessi, what is the biggest thing you've learned in 100 episodes?
Biggest thing I've learned in 100 episodes, that you can show up to do things that are vulnerable, even when you feel like you would rather die than do that. And that there's merit in that. And that sometimes you need a physical example of what it means to carry on. Like sometimes I think that people, whenever you are going through a difficult time, they say to you things like 1 foot in front of the other, or just get through this part and then on the other side of the mountain it's going to be better, or just continue to trudge through and things will change. One day you'll wake up, it'll be different. That is true. But this podcast, sometimes because it's a documentation of my temperament and my emotions, it has been a true like documentary of my life, the past 100 episodes that we've done. And I have been able to see that there is truth in what you hear and what you tell yourself and what people tell you about going through hard times, but continue what you're doing, continue where you're at, and you'll see progress, or you'll see growth, or you'll see the light at the end of the tunnel. And this podcast is like a true testament of that to me. Because I have the proof in documentation of 100 episodes of like me not being so happy every time we record, or there have been months or weeks where I've been bummed the fuck out, baby, like bummer city. But I chose to still come and sit down next to Hailey, and I remember vividly what it feels like to be in those situations. And now I also know what it feels like to be sitting here today and be on the other side of whatever that was I was going through. And so that's cool. If that makes sense, to have a true documentation of like my valleys and hills
of your
and
consistency,
everything.
though.
Yeah. And I showed up. And I showed up. I did. Because instead of quitting, or instead of saying to Hailey, well, there have been times where I think I have said to Hailey, I physically cannot do this today. I think I've done that once or twice for sure, because I was not in a good space. But I still showed up as best I could, whenever I could,
I think that's also showing up for you when you have to take those moments because that has not happened a lot. It was like once or twice. That was also, I was thinking about it this morning, and in 100 episodes, I think the biggest thing that I've learned for the both of us is that everything else could be happening around you, but you showing up and saying yes to this thing you can see growth in it, but also that it proves to you, like, I mean, you see proof that you can do the things that you say you're going to do, which sometimes can feel impossible, especially when, how many episodes before we started making any kind of money at all? And then also, how much money is that? You know what I mean? It's just, especially with acting and my career, also with acting, because I show up and I'm very honest about what's going on with that, as honest as I can be. I think I've been able to see how far I've grown in that. I've also been able to show up even when I feel like the universe or the world is saying no to me in whatever way. No, I can still show up here though, every time. And that's what I can control. So being able to see that physical evidence of what I can control and that it does matter, and showing up does matter, even when you feel like no one's listening or whatever. There were months at a time that me and Jessi would look at our viewership or our listenership and it was down, and we were like, what the heck? We keep showing up, and you just want to see your hard work pay off. And it does. It does. It doesn't matter how long it takes either, but you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. And it's been nice to be able to see that. So
yeah. Especially because at the end of the day, this is just for entertainment purposes. Like Hailey and I are not delusional about like what we're offering the world, aside from the fact that we are hoping to give an escape, a weekly escape into something different. And that has been the goal. And I will say, I'm also very proud that we've stuck with that goal. I mean, the goal has truly been, let's do something that's fun, that other people will think is fun, that we can provide to, again, we've said this a few times this episode, but like provide community, provide a community of other people that are just maybe meeting us in the same place in their life or that need an escape. And I've been very proud of us. I am very proud of us for the way that we've shown up. And moreover, I'm just thankful for the reception. other people of what we've done, and it's so sweet and kind.
It's
and
really trippy every time I talk to someone and someone says, "Oh, I listened to this episode," and I'm like, "Wait, what?" And or just I've had moments where I've been at home in St. Louis where someone said, I listened to your podcast and I didn't know them. And I was like, what the heck? I remember texting you. That happened, I think it was at Christmas. So it was before my mom died. But I remember someone coming up to me at a restaurant and say, "Hey, listen to you and Jessi's podcast," as if they knew me. And I was like, what, girl? And that was really cool. And I texted Jessi. I was like, someone knows us. They listen to the podcast. And I truly, I don't even think about it. And if you're asking yourself, how is Hailey crying about her mom's death on the podcast? How is Hailey crying? Oh, on the first episode, crying about the worst breakup of my life. It's because I don't think about it. I don't think about it.
You are just open. You are an open person.
Yeah.
And we're both sensitive, believe it or not. Hailey and I are both pretty sensitive people. So I cry. I be tearing up on this podcast every day.
I'll be crying the whole time. Everybody knows that. And we can cry together, and that's the whole point.
It is the point. And I would like to say, here's to 100 more.
Oh my gosh, here's to 100 more. Also, here's to 100,000 billion more friends that we're going to make through this too. We love the new hires.
We love you. And with that, please rate, review, subscribe. Please send this episode to a friend. Please feel free to answer any of these questions we've answered and let us know your answer to them. And we love you. We really mean it. And we will see you next Thursday.
Janine, take us home, sis.